Section 22. Understanding the Commissioner's Rules. The rules that most often cost agents their license. Understanding the Commissioner's Rules. The rules that most often cost agents their license. As the afternoon training session continued, Ashley looked down at the Arizona Administrative Code that Michael had handed out earlier that morning. She laughed. "I'll be honest, this looks intimidating." Michael smiled. "Most agents feel that way the first time they open it." David picked up his own copy. "The good news is, you don't have to memorize hundreds of pages. You simply need to understand where the rules come from and why they exist." Ashley flicked through several pages. "I keep seeing R428 everywhere. What does that actually mean?" Michael walked to the whiteboard. "That's one of the most important things every Arizona licensee should understand." He explained that the Arizona Administrative Code, specifically Title IV, Chapter 28, contains many of the Commissioner's rules governing Arizona real estate licensees. While the Arizona legislature creates statutes through the Arizona Revised Statutes, the Arizona Real Estate Commissioner adopts administrative rules that explain how those statutes are implemented and enforced. Those rules establish the minimum professional standards expected of every Arizona licensee. Ashley nodded. "So the statutes tell us what the law is, and the Commissioner's rules explain how we're expected to comply." "Exactly," Michael replied. "They work together." He explained that many of the rules mirror Arizona statutes because the Commissioner cannot create rules that conflict with state law. Instead, the rules provide practical guidance on licensing, advertising, document handling, disclosures, trust accounts, professional conduct, broker supervision, and other day-to-day activities that licensees encounter throughout their careers. David smiled. When ADRE investigates a complaint, they usually aren't looking at only one law. They're comparing your conduct against both the statutes and the Commissioner's rules. Ashley wrote that down. "So violating one often means violating the other." "Many times, yes," Michael answered, "and that's why experienced agents regularly review both." Michael then held up a renewal application. One of the areas where agents most often get themselves into trouble involves reporting requirements. Ashley looked surprised. "I thought renewal was just paying a fee and completing continuing education." Michael smiled. "That's what many agents think. But renewal is also a legal certification." He explained that every renewal application requires the licensee to answer questions regarding criminal convictions, disciplinary actions, adverse judgments, and other matters affecting the licensee's qualifications. Providing incomplete information or intentionally failing to disclose required information may itself become grounds for discipline. David added, "The issue usually isn't the original event. It's the failure to report it." Ashley looked curious. "What kinds of things have to be reported?" Michael explained that under AAC R428-303, licensees must notify the Arizona Department of Real Estate within the required time frame when certain changes occur, including changes affecting their qualifications, criminal convictions, disciplinary actions involving another professional license, adverse judgments, and other reportable events identified by the rule. Licensees must also keep their contact information current so the department can communicate with them regarding their license. Ashley paused. "So if someone gets a DUI, they can't simply wait until renewal?" Michael shook his head. "That's one of the biggest mistakes agents make." He explained that many licensees incorrectly assume personal legal matters have nothing to do with their real estate license. However, ADRE's mission is to protect the public. The department evaluates whether licensees continue to possess the honesty, integrity, and qualifications necessary to hold a professional license. Waiting months to disclose a reportable event may create a second violation that is often more difficult to explain than the original incident. David nodded. "I've seen agents receive discipline not because of the event itself, but because they failed to report it." Ashley looked thoughtful. "So honesty really matters." Michael smiled. "It always has." He continued, "A professional license is a privilege. It isn't permanent. It has to be earned every single day." He reminded the class that the Commissioner's rules are not designed to trap licensees. They exist to establish consistent professional standards, promote transparency, protect consumers, and maintain public confidence in Arizona's real estate industry. Most disciplinary cases could have been avoided through timely communication, proper disclosure, careful documentation, and early involvement of the designated broker. Ashley smiled. "So the Commissioner's rules really become a roadmap." "Exactly," Michael replied. "They're not just rules. They're a guide for making good decisions." David laughed. "And when you're unsure, don't guess. Ask your broker." Michael closed the administrative code. If you remember only one thing from today's lesson, remember this. Problems rarely become smaller by waiting. The sooner you report an issue, the more options you usually have. Ashley closed her notebook. I think I understand now. The commissioner's rules aren't just about avoiding discipline. They're about maintaining the public's confidence in our profession. Michael smiled, and that's exactly why they exist. Real-world Arizona example. An Arizona salesperson was arrested and later convicted of a misdemeanor DUI. Believing the incident had nothing to do with real estate, the licensee decided not to notify ADRE and planned to disclose it during the next license renewal nearly a year later. During the renewal process, ADRE discovered the conviction through its background review and determined the licensee had also failed to comply with the reporting requirements under AAC R428-303. The investigation ultimately focused as much on the failure to report as it did on the underlying conviction, demonstrating that honesty and timely disclosure are critical components of maintaining a professional license. Broker tip: whenever something significant changes, whether it involves a criminal matter, another professional license, a legal judgment, or another reportable event, don't assume it can wait until renewal. Contact your designated broker immediately, review the applicable commissioner rule, and determine whether ADRE notification is required. Prompt disclosure often demonstrates professionalism and accountability. Online discussion question 1. Why do the Arizona revised statutes and the commissioner's rules often address the same subject? Model answer. The statutes establish the law enacted by the legislature, while the commissioner's rules provide administrative guidance for implementing and enforcing those laws. Together, they establish the professional standards expected of Arizona licensees. Question 2. Why can failing to report a criminal conviction create a bigger licensing problem than the conviction itself? ADRE expects licensees to be honest and comply with reporting requirements. A failure to disclose raises concerns about trustworthiness and may result in additional violations beyond the original incident. Question 3. Why should experienced licensees review the commissioner's rules regularly? Model answer. Laws, administrative rules, and industry practices evolve over time. Regular review helps licensees remain compliant, protect consumers, and avoid preventable disciplinary issues.